I'm Queen Sylvie of the multiple award-winning The Queen Sylvie Show. You want to expand and get noticed? Then come outside your box and into our world. Internet advertising has a real impact on global awareness and even sales, so let's make an impact together. Offering for a limited time advertising and sponsorship packages that excel your purpose. So contact Queen Sylvie or Smooth Tim for the exciting opportunities that awaits. Yeah.
Are you tired of driving around a dirty car? Say hello to the ultimate solution for your car. Quick Auto Detail, home, work, or wherever. Their mobile car spa will clean and shine your car anytime and anywhere. Their products are gentle on your car's paint, and they use only the highest quality materials. Book your appointment now.
Hey kids, how would you like to hear this on the screen instead of the great show you came to see? That's what you sound like. Honest. Please cooperate and do your part in keeping this theater quiet so everyone, including you, can enjoy it. Remember, lots of adults and kids too paid admission to enjoy the show. We must insist on absolute quiet.
Okay, Vladimir, it's time to sign the ceasefire.
No.
Vladimir, it's time.
Time for me to say no.
How about yes?
Make me.
Well, look, you...
No, you look. Right now, you're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now.
I'm not playing cards. I'm very serious, Mr. President. I'm very serious.
You're playing cards. You're gambling with lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III.
What are you speaking about?
And what you're doing is very disrespectful to my country. A country that backed you far more than a lot of people said we should have.
Have you said thank you once?
What the hell is JD doing on this call?
He's right. Have you said thank you once in this meeting?
And I've said thank you, frankly, a lot of times, even today. So let's sign the ceasefire.
Okay. Let's not.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? It's time for the final countdown. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's rock. Hey, it is Smooth Tim, and thank you so very, very much for dropping by and spending another Wednesday with me on Tim's Tidbits. I really do appreciate it. I hope so far your week has been okay. It hasn't been too much of a disaster. There's a lot of disaster going on around us, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But otherwise, hey, real quickly, let me give some shout-outs to people who tuned into last week's show. Those of you in Poland, Africa, Ireland, France, Australia, the USA, the United Kingdom, Canada, Mexico, and Germany. Thank you, folks, for tuning on in. It is certainly appreciated. Yes, it is. Anyhow, hey, as there is all kinds of chaos going on around the world, and I'm here just giving you a little bit and briefing on it, and we'll put it into a real quick scenario for you, and hope you can digest this week's garbage. Anyhow, hey, let's get into it. There is obviously 100 different ways for us to, as human beings, to get into contact with one another. But what became popular during especially during the pandemic, was the meeting software, because people were out of office. So a lot of people were turning to Zoom, Microsoft Meetings, and other things like this, other apps that you could download, get onto your phone, get onto your home laptop computer, so you could attend meetings and keep running effectively, right? Well, Also, utilizing those particular apps was the government. And the government uses a app that they call a Signal. And we're going to call this little segment that I'm going to come up with Signalgate, because sometimes you should actually practice a little bit of security when you host a meeting that may be talking about plans to migrate to a wartime offensive in the Middle East. Check it out, Ned. Let me know what you think.
No, I don't think he should apologize. I think he's doing his best. It's equipment and technology that's not perfect, and probably he won't be using it again, at least not in the very near future. What do you think?
That's sir. I agree with you. Let's get everybody in the room whenever possible.
A lot of times you find out defects by exactly things like that, but I don't think it's something we're looking forward to using again. We may be forced to use it. You may be in a situation where you need speed as opposed to gross safety, and you may be forced to use it, but generally speaking, I think we probably won't be using it very much.
It's always good, like when we have something that's bipartisan, to point it out, because it happens so little around here anymore. But rather than giving like a really big, long speech, I feel like I could just use this, and this will tell you that I think it's good, right? So like that's a fist, American flag, fire. So I'll just, from now on, when we do things where like we agree, I'll just hold this up rather than giving like a really big long speech. So job well done, guys.
Would the gentleman yield?
Sure, I'll yield.
But I'm not sure everybody recognizes the reference there. Would you explain where that comes from?
Yeah, so this is how when we're in like a chat with friends, right, where we're like having a casual chat about like where we're dropping missiles.
Are you talking about a public chat room?
Yeah, but like, and with friends, and we're just like, you know, hamming about who we're gonna bomb and all of that. But we agree, we fist American flag fire. So I'm holding this up. I think we could just keep the committee shorter if like when we agree, we just hold this up.
No, I think you're supposed to have the flexed arm instead of the fist.
No, it was just, it was just the fist. What signal chat are you
in? So anyhow, yeah, there was a reporter on that chat group, and they didn't even realize it. And they're spilling out all these information about, working with a few of the Europeans and the Saudis and the shipping lanes and the actions they're going to take. And Trump says what? It was just a obvious lack of gross safety. A lack of gross safety, but unbelievable. If that was some other people, I would imagine what would happen. But that's very, very poor security, gentlemen, and you are top officials in our country, and that's the way they practice security. Open-ended meetings. Yeah, well, you should have invited everybody. I mean, I could have found it interesting myself. Next time, if you would, please invite me. If you need to text me, I'll get you my handle so you can invite me to the movies, or to the next meeting, rather. Anyhow, hey, you remember about, maybe, was it a month ago, that Maine governor was in that governor's meeting at the White House, and she spoke up. Governor Janet Mills, rather. Yeah, was in that governor's meeting at the White House, spoke up. Trump kind of singled her out and said, hey, you, if you don't do what I'm going to tell you to do, I'm going to cut off funding, screw your state over, blah, 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 blah. Apparently, she's not done being targeted for disobeying the POTUS's direct orders.
You not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it, because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't.
See you in court.
Every state, good, I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one.
That heated exchange happened about a month ago when Governor Janet Mills visited the White House for a National Governors Association meeting. President Donald Trump called out Mills for not complying with his executive order banning transgender athletes from playing in women's and girls' sports. Today, President Trump posted to Truth Social stating Mills needs to apologize for that interaction. He wrote, quote, "We need a full-throated apology from the governor herself and a statement that she will never make such an unlawful challenge to the federal government again." We have reached out to the governor's office for comment, but we have not heard back yet.
So, hey, don't go against the POTUS. If you go against the POTUS, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to get strapped to the POTUS and whipped. And anyhow, hey, as we know, there are some other judges that are going to be getting themselves in trouble. And Trump's going after some of the federal judges, the ones that he didn't appoint and the ones that don't obviously agree with him. He would like to see them impeached. And one of the judges that went against his deportation just the last week, and we talked about that too, where they sent the plane load of guys, a couple hundred guys down to Venezuela, accidentally, threw in a professional soccer player and some other mistakes that they're still not willing to admit. So there's these guys who really shouldn't have been deported. It was deported by this overreach. And a judge thought it was an overreach and told Trump to cool it and explain himself. And Trump's going after him now.
At 9:05 a.m. Eastern Time this morning, Donald Trump logged on to social media and he wrote something so out of bounds that Chief Justice John Roberts of the Supreme Court had to issue a public rebuke. In his post, Donald Trump raged against the federal judge who blocked his summary expulsion of Venezuelan migrants. U.S. District Judge James Boasberg writing, quote, "This judge, like many of the crooked judges I am forced to appear before, should be impeached in all capitals." There it is. We've heard it from Elon Musk, now from the mouth of the President of the United States. Let's not mince words. Trump is calling on Republicans in Congress to rid him of a federal judge who ruled against him. That is what autocrats do. They take control of the judiciary and then they shape it to protect their ambitions rather than those of the people. Like the El Salvador strongman Nayib Bukele, who calls himself the world's coolest dictator. Last month, Elon Musk praised Bukele's purge of El Salvador's Supreme Court on social media, writing, quote, "Unfortunately, as President Bukele eloquently articulates, there is no other option. We must impeach to save democracy," end quote. The background to Trump's post today is that MAGA caucus members in the House of Representatives have introduced articles of impeachment against 3 federal judges who have ruled against Trump. We'll talk about this in a minute because impeachment of judges is a real thing and there's a real reason for it, and this isn't it. Judge Boasberg would be the 4th judge targeted if and when the Texas Republican Congressman Brandon Gill files articles of impeachment against him, as he has vowed to do. And that could be why Chief Justice Roberts felt that he had to step in and deliver a rare and extraordinary statement today. Quote, "For more than 2 centuries, it has been established that impeachment is not an appropriate response to disagreement concerning a judicial decision. The normal appellate review process exists for that purpose," end quote. To be clear, Donald Trump doesn't have the votes to wage a politically motivated purge of America's federal judiciary, which would require a 2/3 vote of the Senate. But Donald Trump has a proven track record of whipping up supporters against judges who've ruled against him, both as a criminal defendant and during his presidencies. Just ask the federal judge, Tanya Chutkan, whose D.C. home was swatted when she presided over Donald Trump's federal prosecution for trying to subvert the 2020 presidential election. Or the Manhattan judge, Arthur Engoron, whose Long Island home received a bomb threat before he issued a roughly $500 million civil verdict against Donald Trump for business fraud. Or MAGA turning on the Trump-appointed Justice Amy Coney Barrett, who, despite being sufficiently conservative, did not appear to be sufficiently loyal to Donald Trump. But the federal courts refused to be intimidated. Today, Judge Boasberg demanded answers from the Trump administration to some very simple but specific questions about why the administration did not obey his order to stop last week's deportation flights, including, quote, 1, what time did the plane take off from the United States and from where? 2, what time did it leave U.S. airspace? 3, what time did it land in which foreign country, including if it made more than one stop? And 4, what time were individuals subject solely to the proclamation transferred out of U.S. custody? Finally, 5, simple question, how many people were aboard solely on the basis of the proclamation? None of these are complicated questions. The judge has given the government until noon tomorrow to answer them. Judge Boasberg has scheduled an in-person hearing on the matter for Friday.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens at the end of this week. But from the clip that I seen when a reporter had questioned Trump about this particular incident, you know, Trump says, I don't know anything about them being deported, this plane thingy. No, nobody advised me on it. So we'll see who he throws under the bus with this one. But hey, crazy. Yeah, it's really interesting how something kind of goes to the left. He has no idea, and he's going to throw somebody under the bus. Somebody is going to take the hit for that. But hey, if something goes right, he's busy dislocating his shoulder, patting himself on the back, and again being club champion at Trump International for, 5-6 straight years. I don't know how he does that. Every time I see him swing a club, he shanks. Anyhow, hey, speaking of shanks and something there are gonna be some changes coming to Social Security. Because why? Well, they made cuts up to thousands and thousands of employees that, you know, are there to help you and I out should we have Social Security issues, should we have Social Security problems, or even need to apply for Social Security, Medicare, whatever that case may be. Now it's going to be a hell of a lot more difficult because they're closing down a lot of offices and they're laying off a lot of people. So what are some of the changes going to be coming up?
More than 70 million people in the U.S. receive benefits from the Social Security Administration. The vast majority are those who have retired. Now, all eyes are on the agency as it makes changes, including requiring in-person identity verification for those who cannot do so online. All of this as some offices around the country are expected to close. More on the story from NBC7's Dana Williams.
On a quick search on my phone, there are fewer than 12 Social Security offices within the county that people can go in person to. Some of the concerns are if more people have to go in person, how long will the wait times be? How far out will they have to make appointments? And then there's a whole other aspect when it comes to dealing with technology to make those appointments.
I do all my bills and all that stuff online. Some of these people, I still have a friend who drives to gas and electric places to pay and stuff.
Nancy Burge says she's one of the few. She had a lengthy career as a computer programmer.
And technology, me being a programmer and all, technology's outrunning me, and it's hard enough for me. And I wonder how regular people do it.
It's her first thought when you ask about people navigating their Social Security benefits.
Yeah, it's stressful enough.
Typically, those who receive Social Security include retired workers who are 62 or older, those who have a disability that prevents them from working, or survivors of relatives who died and had paid Social Security taxes. If you're in those groups and you don't have one already, now's the time to make a My Social Security account. It's an online portal, and starting March 31st, anyone who isn't able to or chooses not to verify their identity through that platform will need to make an appointment in person to do so.
Not everybody can do it. Not everybody wants to do it, and I don't blame them.
The agency says this is a way to ensure people aren't taking advantage of the system and the right people are being paid the right amount. It also comes as the Department of Government Efficiency plans to close Social Security offices nationwide. On the agency's website, it lists an office in Carlsbad as the only location in California to close, but it's caused some confusion as the only nearby office to that is actually within the city of Oceanside. If that one closes, the only option for residents in North County would be in San Marcos.
Yeah, if there's 10,000 more people have to go to that office, yeah, it could be a problem.
Even now, people are having to wait nearly a month to get in.
Maybe like 3 or 4 weeks out. It wasn't like super obvious how to set up the appointment here, yeah.
Adding to the already mounting stress,
big time,
of changes on the horizon.
At the same time, you're worrying about how to do Medicare.
Yeah, so like I said, hey, and these people, you're going to apply for Medicare. You may have some other, may be going on disability for some reason or the other, and they're talking about a month out and or more. All because of, we are looking at government efficiency. Some of this government efficiency turns out to be a citizen pain in the ass. So from Doge, you went to CPA. And speaking of, people viewing us as being a big pain in the ass, the French, I think they're getting tired of all these little secret sidebar meetings. You heard of one of them, or they want to keep that on the QT. Get this done with the what's going on in the shipping lanes and keep some of these European freeloaders, did they call them? European freeloaders out of it. Anyhow, one of these European freeloaders, a lawmaker over in France, I'll be very specific, France, who gifted us some 100 years ago the Statue of Liberty. And now this French lawmaker says the United States no longer deserves that statue because it really doesn't live up to the symbolism of the statue with the opening arms and welcoming them to a brave new world. It's more like get the hell out of here. So this French lawmaker would, I guess, like to get the Statue of Liberty the hell on out of here.
Well, it's become a symbol of New York City.
Yeah, we're talking about the Statue of Liberty, which was gifted to the U.S. by France back in 1884.
All right, but as Fox 5's Kendall Green explains, at least one French lawmaker is now calling for it to be returned.
Raphael Glucksmann, a French member of parliament, put the Statue of Liberty in a national conversation Sunday, suggesting France should take it back. And it already has New Yorkers talking about the symbol of freedom and democracy.
This is the signature of New York. This is what a lot of people come here for.
It has changed from what it used to be.
Glucksmann shared, quote, "We gave it to you as a gift, but apparently you despise it, so it will be just fine here at home."
I never expected that to be a thing. Like, it just where'd it come from? I see now where it comes from.
The statue was a gift from France to the U.S. in 1884, honoring the long-standing alliance. And since President Trump's firm stance on the ongoing war with Russia and Ukraine, the administration has gotten more global pushback. But New Yorkers say to respond by retracting the symbolic gift doesn't make much sense.
Well, the Statue of Liberty is just an icon. It's just a statue. That's all it is. Our perception of liberty is different than a lot of other places in the world.
But this New Yorker added, with the statue being a symbolic welcome to immigrants, there are some grounds for criticism.
The liberties that the people that come into this country who are not yet citizens, I think that we can do better.
Of course, the White House said they're not going to do it, but what do you think about that assertion?
That's interesting. I mean, could they take it back? I mean, is it rightfully theirs, you know? But I don't think that's right, you know?
How are they going to go and just take the Statue of Liberty? That just sounds like a lot.
Kendall Green, Fox 5 News.
We no longer represent the symbolism of that statue. Yeah. Well, hey, maybe we should let them take it back, and we can blame it on our current POTUS. What happened to the statue? Well, you're gonna have to ask King Donnie over here what the hell happened to our statue. Anyhow, hey, you heard a mention in there that talking about a lot of people are not happy with where we're at, trying to negotiate in between Russia and Ukraine, and that's not the only place it's happening in the world. And I say we get focused, and I tell you all the time, keep your eye out, keep an eye on your six. Always be listening and know what's going on around you. Don't just get distracted with this Ukraine-Russia situation over here, because we still have things going on in China. And as you know, that we do a lot of military exercises with Taiwan, and we just wrapped up a big military exercise with Taiwan, getting ready to work on another exercise that would secure the waterways around Taiwan for shipping purposes and other things, which is obviously what China would like to choke off so that they can again acquire Taiwan into China. That one hasn't stopped, and it's still out there. Check it out.
The mini Hangguang exercises, which focus on the military's immediate readiness, have come to an end, and the official Hangguang exercises are set to take place next month. Taiwan's military has adopted measures to prevent a Chinese invasion of Taiwan, but according to the Wall Street Journal, China is ready for a blockade. The Wall Street Journal says that China's approach could be to bomb Taiwanese infrastructure while sending military aircraft and ships to encircle Taiwan, and cut off more than 10 submarine cables to sever Taiwan's internet connection. China could also start conducting inspections on ships heading to Taiwan to disrupt imports and put pressure on Taiwan.
The insights on the Wall Street Journal article are not news. China has been doing these things every day, be it gray zone coercion, blockades and interceptions, or cutting submarine cables. Last year, during the 40th Hangguang exercises, our troops conducted an exercise on foreign supply transfers. This year, we have similar drills as well. There are plans in place for any actions that the CCP may attempt to take against Taiwan.
China is also waging a political war against Taiwan to infiltrate the country. A U.S. think tank says Taiwan should establish a foreign agent registration system and tighten punishments for espionage. It also says officials visiting China should be more closely monitored, being required to disclose their itinerary 30 days before departure and banned from holding closed-door meetings.
我们都很重视，We're paying close attention to the matter. We have 17 national security measures to focus on for the sake of national security. The government will work hard to defend our national sovereignty.
President Lai Ching-te recently announced 17 strategies to boost national security, including measures to prevent Chinese agents from undermining Taiwan's sovereignty. Tensions remain high in the Taiwan Strait, making headlines around the world.
Keep your eye on that one, folks. So, yeah, that's been going on for a long time. And, that's not going to go away anytime soon. So, China, Taiwan, and we'll see what happens, And again, isn't it interesting how it always comes down to waterways? The same thing happening in Russia, right, with the Ukraine. They want to control waterways for shipping purposes because it all comes up to money, money, money. Same thing happening over here in, with China and Taiwan. They want to control shipping. If they can control shipping and trade, well, there you go. But, let's stay over there in Asia and see what's happening with tensions still between North Korea and South Korea. And tensions may have elevated just a bit this week, because it was this week, that the U.S. decided to put the USS Carl Vinson and over and let it dock in Seoul and see if that rises any tensions there. And why not rise some tensions over in North Korea, South Korea, and see what kind of war maybe we can start over there. Not happy with what we've stirred up in Russia, Ukraine, and Taiwan and China. Let's see what we can get started between North Korea and South Korea also. How about that?
Clearly, our presence here in Busan shows the strong alliance between the Republic of Korea and the United States, and our opportunity to train and operate together with our allies, as we have done for the last 72 years. And we will certainly look forward to continuing to do that. Every opportunity we have to sail together and fly together makes us stronger together.
Well, you keep an eye on this one, folks. So there we go. Yeah, we got things stirred up between North Korea, South Korea, Taiwan and China. I wonder how that's all going to play out. You know, with us, the Koreans and Taiwanese, and if somehow there's an alliance there to keep that the waterways over there in Asia, palatable for trade for the U.S. and those two countries. Who knows? It's going to be real interesting. See what's coming up here, and I imagine, hey, by summer we may have an idea if anything's going to start to spark off or not, right? Anyhow, hey, let's go to something interesting, and I know everybody loves a parade. I like a parade, hey, Thanksgiving parade, the Christmas parade, especially when you see Santa. And everybody's always really jacked up about that, right? Can't wait till the end so we can see Santa. But how about if you go to a parade that's hosted by ninjas, and the trick is you really don't even see them.
In Modesto, California today, crowds turned out for the annual Modesto County Ninja Parade, which once again passed through town entirely undetected.
This is our fourth straight year coming, and we've still never seen a ninja.
According to an arrow scroll delivered straight into the heart of the city clerk, this marked the 30th year that the Modesto area ninjas have stealthily celebrated their heritage.
It's amazing how the ninjas can sneak by undetected on us. The kids love trying to be able to spot them and not being able to.
A record crowd of 3,000 people came out to not see the ninjas.
We were right where the ninjas probably were.
Best part was probably when I found the candy in my pocket. The ninjas must have came up behind me like really fast and put all this candy.
Despite its long tradition, only once in 1984 was any evidence of the parade's presence captured on film. And after the event, attendees were informed that the theme of this year's parade had been Shirotori Kuroi Kage.
There you go. And if you're ever lucky enough to attend one of these ninja parades and spot one, make sure you get this video, because you would be one of the lucky people. The only thing I seen there from that photo that had been submitted was a shadow. Things that make you say, Anyhow, speaking of things that make you say, and Texas is always making me say, we enjoyed our time down in Dallas. Yes, we did. But there are some real interesting things that happened down in Dallas. And one of the interesting things that happened down in Dallas was to one unlucky Texas lottery winner. And what I mean by unlucky lottery winner? Well, apparently the Texas Lottery Commission wants to renege on the winnings that this woman achieved through utilizing an app. But the app was at one of their outlets, so I have no idea what Texas is doing, but apparently they just don't want to pay out when they're supposed to.
A Texas woman walked through the doors of the Lottery Commission Tuesday morning with an $83.5 million lottery ticket. But she left empty-handed and uncertain.
I'm being treated as the bad guy.
Her winnings withheld amidst a political storm. Texas lawmakers are currently debating the legality of lottery courier services, which allow you to buy lottery tickets on your phone. She purchased her winning ticket on a courier service called Jackpocket.
Never in a million years would think that there was anything sketchy or inappropriate.
A week after her win, the Lottery Commission announced it's banning those types of services. Her attorney, Randy Howery, says she should still get her money.
We play by all the rules, and we're still playing by all the rules, and we expect that my client should be paid with...
The Texas Rangers are not only investigating his client's win, but another $95 million jackpot win from 2023 that raised many questions. Both Howery and his client say the two events are extremely different. Both jackpot wins were purchased electronically. In 2023, a single group worked with 4 retailers to purchase more than $25 million worth of tickets to nearly guarantee a win. In this most recent jackpot win, that woman purchased only $20 worth of tickets.
Sometimes there are reasons to investigate things. I don't think mine is one of them.
Typically, the commission would pay out the winnings within a 3-day period after the ticket is presented. It does not appear that will happen this week. Howery says he and his client are prepared to take legal action if need be, but the woman with the winning ticket hopes it doesn't come to that.
This is an opportunity for me to do other things with my life, and I want to be able to go do those.
In Austin, I'm Dylan McCann.
Wow. So she got $83.5 million that she spent. I found that kind of interesting, the comparison that the Lottery Commission down in Texas is trying to make in regards to, well, some years prior, back, what did they say, in 2023 rather, that a group of people had worked with other outlets, retailers, and spent $20 million to win a $95 million jackpot. That does kind of sound scrupulous. So you're making sure that you're going to hit all the numbers, betting $20 million to hit that 95 mil. But in any regard, this woman that had just recently won $83.5 million, only dropped $20 on the entire thing. So she only made $20 worth of bets. And she won. So pay up, Texas. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Anyhow, that could be probably one of my dude what the fuck moments, but that's not my dude what the fuck moment. My dude the what the fuck moment is kind of interesting. And you ever go to the pool and you'll see the different people on the springboards doing their dives, and sometimes the person just doesn't hit the dive quite right, or maybe they didn't hit the dive quite right on purpose. And that's what this is all about, folks. We're going to have a disaster dive contest.
Oh, no! She slipped! Oh, you see? That was a bad slip. But look at it. It's turning into an international sport right here. Look at this guy. His golden ticket. Look. It is. Flying like an eagle. Look at that. Right?
Right. This certainly is a spectator sport.
Everybody calm down. Here we go.
Oh, wow. It's going to be hard, Steve.
Hands behind the back the entire time.
Oh! She was during the final, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, just beautiful landing. His hands are just glued to the back of his back. And actually does it in his speedo. Hang on. Double clap.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
He owns the air on that one. Do you see that? And the crowd loves it.
Demon. Oh, he took it up in the air. Look at that.
Took it up.
Lots of speed out. Oh, perfectly executed. It looked like a dive that went horribly wrong. Three-time world champion. It just looks so simple.
Looks so controlled. He is actually a professional diver, is he not?
I don't even know anymore. Look at these guys. I mean,
okay. So there you go. Professional disaster dives. And the winner is, I think that little kid that dove just at the very end was the winner in my book. Anyhow, hey folks, getting ready to wrap her up here real quick, but let's move on to your favorite part, and who that is. Who is going to be our asshole of the week? Well, our asshole of the week is actually somebody who should be reaching out and taking care of you, and should be in your corner in time of need. Their job is to be compassionate. Their job is to lead you down the right road, not to themselves be going down the wrong road. Who am I talking about? What happens when somebody who is intruding in your home happens to be your pastor?
It's a terrifying home invasion. A man with a flashlight enters a single mom's house and ends up caught on her security camera. And when she looked at the video, she knew who it was right away. Here's why.
It's terrifying. A man caught on security tape breaking into a home. What made this even more shocking is the identity of the intruder. It was 43-year-old Marie Columna's pastor. There he was in her kitchen, clearly identifiable.
You would never think a pastor would do anything bad to anyone.
When you follow God's vision. And it's not just any church. 49-year-old Sergio Guardia was a pastor at a mega church, the 24,000-member Thomas Road Baptist Church in Lynchburg, Virginia. Maria and her husband were very close with the pastor and his wife, as seen in this photo. What was Pastor Guardia like?
Very charismatic, extremely nice.
But after she divorced her husband, Marie says the pastor's behavior became increasingly odd.
He started just showing up to my house. My kids wouldn't be home. It'd be in the middle of the day. And he would just show up and bring me groceries. He did that a handful of times. Sometimes I would get home and he'd be right on my porch. So I couldn't even avoid him.
But nothing prepared her for this. Surveillance video, which was taken while she was away for the weekend with her 2 kids.
I just couldn't process that it was Sergio.
Lo and behold, he came back the next day.
I was watching the live feed of him entering my daughter's bedroom.
She called the cops, and you can see them with guns drawn. They even use a police dog in their search, but the pastor had already fled. Guardia was charged with burglary and stalking.
Well deserved. I mean, what the? Yeah, he was trying to get them knickers. That's what the problem was. And yeah. Yeah, he had some other things in mind besides just helping that lady out of a hard situation. That's insane. Anyhow, a well-deserved asshole of the week. And anyhow, hey, speaking of well-deserved, I would like to thank you for sticking with me and watching through the entirety of the show. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you picked up a little bit of something maybe you didn't know, maybe something you did know, and we highlighted it and maybe gave you a little bit more insight on what's going on, what was going on. But anyhow, I'll tell you what's going on today. It's time for Tim to get on out of here and getting ready to wrap it up so I can head into the weekend and enjoy my upcoming weekend. And I even want to say the same thing to you. I hope you enjoy your upcoming weekend. Make the best out of everything. And as the Queen and I always say in our other shows, faith over fear, people. We will get past all this. Put a smile on your face because it'll put a smile on somebody else's. Until then, have a great week, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye-bye.
And then we can just live here forever. We don't gotta give nothing to the original owner.
Yep. All you have to do is claim you have a lease, and law enforcement can't even ask to see it. Spend enough time here, and the property belongs to you.
Yeah!
And in New York State, it's illegal to lock squatters out or shut off their utilities.
You've given us everything we need to keep this scumbag out of our new house forever. And they say lawyers are bastards.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Remember, these parasite landlords might not recognize it, but the law is the law.
Oh, here comes the landlord now. You can tell him off for us.
Gladly.
Oh, I can't wait to see him cry about this. Oh, my family's been here for generations.
Oh, wow. A few generations of non-contributing leeches?
For the last time, this is my land.
What? You're the homeowner?
Get out of here. It's ours now.
You lost, Red Man.
Our lawman outsmarted you, Red Man. Our land now! Our land now! Our land now!
It was passed down to me from my forefathers. These men are occupying it illegally.
Quit your crying, you baby.
Yeah!
These rednecks have been trying to steal this land from me for ages.
Quit your bitching!
You aid them in the evil they do. They have stolen land which was sacred to me.
Me? I mean, I didn't... The law, it just...
What are you talking about? You gave us this whole thick binder on do's and don'ts. This thing's airtight.
Like you said, we're never leaving. Sir, technically, legally, they can't stay here.
I do not recognize this illegitimate law.
Oh, yeah? Tell him. Yeah! Say the line, lawyer!
I don't care if you don't like the law. It's the law. Oh my gosh.
911? Yeah, I'd like to report a break-in.
I don't know if that's necessary, guys. You don't have to...
What? You want us to give him a reservation on the couch?
You white men take and take to satisfy your greed.
No, it's not like that.
Then what is it like? Taking what you did not work for and no one gave you.
Was this the man you needed removed from the land? I don't think you need to say it that way.
Check it! Y'all ever want to get someone off a piece of land you're on? This lawyer here is a fellow to call.
No, All right, let's go, buddy.
Look at that! A whole trail of tears!